exploring lakes, rivers, and reservoirs across the country with an unyielding goal to enlighten viewers from a fisheye perspective. Come along and we'll investigate the habitat. Much more than a fishing show, this is an eye-opening aquatic experience. Welcome to Kim Stricker's Hook and Look. In lakes and impoundments across the country, schooling baitfish present a significant source of food for predatory game fish. Shad, shiners, herring, ciscos, yellow perch, as well as bluegill. Each species will gather in groups, primarily by year class. Pay attention, because when bass converge on these schools in a feeding frenzy, angling success may become a matter of size. Just minutes east of Cleveland, Tennessee, along the Ocoee River, Ocoee Dam No. 1 impounds Parksville Reservoir, aka Lake Ocoee. Boasting a picturesque backdrop amidst the Cherokee National Forest, and a tale of conservation, considering the ecological history upstream. Today, Strike King's Marketing Relationship Manager, Mark Copley, accompanies Kim in search of Parksville's abundant spotted bass.
Ah, got him.
Yeah.
Let me get the net for you.
I don't know how big. We're fixing to find out though. Oh. Oh yeah. Now he knows he's hooked.
Clear that water is, huh?
That's gorgeous. Not a giant.
No, same old kind of size.
But
the old average.
The old average. But correct me if I'm wrong.
It's a spotted bass.
It is a spotted bass.
That's your first, isn't it?
That is my first spotted bass. Very nice.
All right.
Aren't they beautiful?
They are beautiful.
All right.
You're hung up in this net pretty good.
Well, the good news is he didn't let go.
There you go.
All right.
Good going. Congratulations.
Nice to get the first spot in.
There you go.
The spotted bass community at Parksville rates better than fair when taking into consideration the sheer numbers available. Several schools of aggressive spots roam the lake in pursuit of baitfish. Some small, some better than average. Nonetheless, each group of healthy spotted bass present optimistic testimony to Lake Ocoee's aquatic ecosystem in lieu of the region's unfavorable history. In the late 1800s, the area upstream was heavily mined for copper ore from the Copper Basin and polluted by smelting operations. Extensive logging and plant-destroying smog devastated the surrounding environment, depleting topsoil and allowing tons of contaminated sediment to ultimately erode downstream to the Ocoee River. As a result, aquatic life and habitat were significantly degraded. In spite of this, the area has since been cleaned and greened. Cooperative reclamation efforts by the TVA, the Natural Resources Conservation Service, copper companies, and other federal agencies began in the 1930s and continue today. Sediment quality remains the most important ecological issue for Parksville Reservoir. The historic mining practices left a legacy of high concentrations of several heavy metals. And although these concentrations remain above normal levels, the good news is they do appear to be decreasing over time.
I'm back up in largemouth territory.
Ooh, there you go.
This
There
a
you
little
go.
better.
Another largemouth? I'm gonna start
Well,
fishing
I just
for
threw in largemouth territory, so
You do that? Oh, there's one behind it. Look at, there's 3 or 4 behind it.
I see 'em.
Hold on, let me get over there. Let me get over there. That's
coming
a nice little spot.
Awesome.
Wigger in here.
All right, a little better.
That's another largemouth though.
I'm the largemouth king
But
here.
there was 4 or 5 of them.
I don't know the best way to grab him. Teamwork, baby.
You got it. Very nice, very nice.
Very nice.
There was 4 or 5 others underneath it, just like it, like clones.
Just like little clones.
Getting a little breeze across the point. Oh, oh, oh. Ooh, ooh, there's one, that one, ooh, yeah.
And I just casted.
Ooh,
Good one.
oh, well, he's
Would you like the net?
a fish.
Would you like
I'm
the net?
gonna pull this one in. Now look, there's the size of the bait. Look
Yep.
at that.
That's a perfect example right there.
Right there. Well, there's your sign. As I pulled that fish out of the water, you'll notice it spits up a blueback herring, which ultimately drops on the deck of my boat. It's hints like this you need to pay attention to. It made us aware of the precise size of the forage the fish were keyed in on, which was quite a bit smaller than the lure we were using. We also felt the spots weren't hitting the topwater that well. When we come back, we'll downsize.
Coming up, Kim and Mark make a change for the better. Stay tuned. Hook and Look is brought to you by Strike King Lure Company, #1 in fishing lures. Seagar, trust Seagar when everything is on the line. Power Pole, swift, silent, secure. Aquaview, reinventing underwater cameras. And by Indian River, Michigan Tourist Bureau. Pure water, pure trails, pure north.
Now, why don't we think they'll bite a jerkbait?
Yeah, I'm back in.
I bet you we could catch them on the jerkbait if they're not quite committed on coming up. I'm gonna tie that little jerkbait on and try it a few times on these spots.
After receiving a not-so-subtle hint in regards to the size of the baitfish, Kim and his guest, Mark Copley, decide to make an adjustment that quickly pays off.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
that looks like a good one.
They're like smallmouth. At first, they just fight.
We're doubled up.
Well, this feels like a decent one.
Mine is not.
This feels like, this is a nice one.
All
I
right.
see them out there. This is a good one.
Let's see if I can get this
a
one off
good
real
one.
quick.
A good one, ain't all day.
I'm coming. Oh, it is a good one. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, I was busy with my own. Mine just probably was like this one's great grandchild. That's a nice one.
Yeah, nice chunky little spot. Get off there, honey.
Well, they're mean, aren't they? All right, I got that.
Well, I'm glad we made that switch. I mean, we're getting a lot more bites now.
You know, you can only try something for so long before you got to say, you know what?
Right.
Let's switch.
That's for sure.
That's pretty.
That little old KVD jerkbait. The old 2-hook.
The old 2-hook.
And that, you know, we use the 2-hook because of the size of that little old herring. All right. Let you go on this little rock point. I'm telling you, in a year or two, this is going to be one heck of a lake.
Oh my
Because
God.
there's a bunch of fish that size.
You know, the cool thing, we can see the action of these baits because water's so clear here. And you can just see how this thing just, all you got to do is just rip it just a little bit, and boy, it just
Darts like crazy.
Another
Ooh,
one?
that's a good one. That's a good one.
All right. Oh yeah. I'll do a better job this time.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
Okay, I can't knock him off out there.
Whoa.
He just hopped right over it.
Get him up here.
A little better.
Getting them a little better now. Yes, sir. Well,
I had him that first time, and then he just kind of just
kept
decided
going.
he was going to keep going.
Now we're getting a little chunkier fish.
I'm starting
That's
to get
more
there.
like, I think it's more like you get around the right school.
I agree.
Yeah, that's the.
There are several schools in this lake, and some of them are smaller, some of them are larger.
We'll keep jerking.
That's right.
Couple of jerks jerking. I need to show you on the aqua view what that looks like down there. I'll let you know if they're holding on the brush or not.
Mm-hmm.
And look, swimming around them. Up in the right, look at them all, look at them all.
That's awesome.
They're just stacked all over here. Look at that.
That is awesome.
Just stacked, look at those spots.
Don't go away. Kim jumps in for a closer look when Hook and Look returns. Welcome back to the Cherokee National Forest and picturesque Parksville Reservoir. Kim and Mark Copley continue to focus on schooling fish with a KVD jerkbait and have now stumbled upon an active group of what appears to be better quality spots. Yet, the frenzy left the boys scratching their heads.
Look at him, look at him. Side of it. Those are some good ones too. Those were good ones. But no matter how hard we tried, we just couldn't get bit. Even when we placed our cast smack dab in the middle of them. For some odd reason, this particular school, located on a steep point in front of a big laydown, was totally ignoring what we had to offer. So to search for answers, I made the decision to dive in for a bass eye view.
You're about 20 yards from that big laydown.
I haven't run into a school of spots. That's because they're schooled over that deeper open water. I just got to get up on the right area where they pulled up on a point and capture them while they're there. And we'll see them.
I don't know if you can see the big laydown, but you're about 10 yards from it.
Found some decent sized spots here.
As we drew nearer to the big tree, which was laid down over a steep point, we began to come in contact with the school, and there were some better fish.
There's a good one.
Without a doubt, spotted bass, above all big ones, have a preference for fallen wood, especially when a sheer rocky ledge accompanies it. So as I slowly penetrated deep within the branches, I came upon more.
Oh, look, there is a school of fish. That's really a good school of fish here. What kind we want to catch?
I'm convinced that that may be some of those that was busting fish then. Are the bigger ones beneath the canopy, or are they in the tree, or is it mixed?
Beneath the tree. Like we were talking about, they love an overhead canopy, and they were underneath the shade of the tree. They're also inside it. Beauty. There was big ones hanging under here. I mean, I say big ones, they were all good 3-pounders.
That is the tree where we saw the bigger ones breaking just out to the outside of it.
I can see why. That was good stuff.
That was good stuff. It confirmed there was indeed better spots in that school. However, as far as a probable cause to our not getting bit dilemma, well, that wasn't sitting in that tree. As Jason and I traveled along the drop-off towards the big laydown, you'll notice a lush green growth of what appears to be hydrilla, sprouting down the entire length of the edge. This weed line was harboring schools of very small juvenile bluegill, and it appeared the spotted bass relating to this point were keyed in on the petite-sized snack. This was later confirmed from the boat. Watch as the spotted bass chase the schools of tiny baitfish to the surface. Often, when bass key on a specific sized quarry, you need to precisely match the hatch in order to get bit. And it's highly likely This is what was happening to Mark and I on this particular school of fish. So we moved back to where they were feeding on the larger herring, and right away,
There we go. Oh, good one.
good one?
Good one.
Good one, let me get it. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Come on, stay down.
Oh, that's a good one.
Come on, baby.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
There we go. Woo!
God, that felt good.
Awesome.
All right.
You know when you're catching all those 1-pounders then you get
when
some,
you feel it go,
you know the difference.
you know the difference. All right. Look at there. Now, still not a giant, but a nice one.
But look at the bellies on them. They're just
Boy,
feeding.
they are, they're not going hungry here. That's for sure. They're so much fun to catch.
That's for
I
sure.
don't care what size. They're just fun to catch.
You get a lot of bites here, that's for darn sure.
Very, very nice.
And it makes you appreciate the little better ones.
That's right.
Want more underwater content? Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be right back. This portion of Hook and Look is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Evinrude, introducing the all-new Evinrude E-Tech G2. Sims Fishing Products, the choice of professional guides and anglers worldwide. Dr. Edward Lonieski, ethical and effective stem cell therapy. And by Sportfish Michigan, your source for the top charter captains and guides.
At Strike King, we've got 3 different models of jerkbaits. We've got the J200, the J300, and the J300 Deep. Now the J200 comes with 2 hooks on it. The J300 comes with 3 hooks on it. They're both designed to go about the same depth range, around 6 to 8 feet, depending on your line size. Then we've got the J300 Deep. That's designed to go to around 11, 12 feet with really, really light line. Now today we were using the J200, and the reason being to try to emulate the forage that's in the water. It's blueback herring in this lake, and they're about this big, so we're trying to emulate it with this smaller body.
When it comes to jerkbait performance, line size and line type will have an effect on the lure's darting action, but more importantly, the depth. To achieve maximum depth, use a lighter test fluorocarbon line, not monofilament. Mark and I were spooled up with 20-pound test Seaguar Smackdown braid in an effort to achieve a long cast. However, we attached a long 12-foot leader of 10-pound Seaguar Tatsu fluorocarbon to attain the maximum depth.
Kim, how are you working yours?
I'm working mine fast. I am doing a real erratic jerk. I'm getting it down, short jerks like that, so it's just darting really erratic, and then I'll do a stop. And many of the strikes have happened on the stop, but they don't all. They're so aggressive when they decide they're gonna feed.
And honestly, there's really no rhyme or reason to the bite, because I'm doing quick jerks, stop it, they'll hit it sometimes. It's just whatever that fish wants at that moment. It says, I don't think there's any right or wrong way to fish it. Wasn't quite a power.
Ooh, there's that feels, that's a little better.
Let me get in. Let's make this easier.
Let's do that. That feels a little better.
Awesome. I'll 2-hand net this one.
Oh yeah,
much
oh
better.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
And when did you,
I have failed net school.
why don't you just whip him in here?
I got him. I had him the whole time.
You leave me speechless on that.
Okay, I do feel good that I did not knock it off. Get that line off of him. Isn't it
Now that's
pretty?
a pretty
Very pretty.
pretty little spot. What we've been catching has been smaller, but as you know, it's still warm. The water's warm. It's the end of September, and the water temperature is like the 1st of September.
Yeah, and well, and we've had hot weather that's kept the water. It's just now starting to change a little bit.
Yeah.
The temperature's starting to drop, but water hadn't had time to get there. All right.
You got that?
Good
Get
deal.
it back in the water, nice and gently. Thanks, fish. Hope there's more of those.
In Cleveland, Tennessee, we are so blessed to be right in the middle of an outdoor paradise. Right here next to the Cherokee National Forest, you'll find a charming downtown with great little eateries. Some are unique to our area. We have some chef-owned restaurants that are just wonderful. We also have the familiar faces that everyone knows and is familiar with their menu. So we have a good variety. We have great places to stay. So a nice place to rest after you've reeled in those big ones on Parksville Lake. We are a great place to rest and refuel after all of those adventures. For all the details on events that we have going on in Cleveland, you can check out our website. It's visitclevelandtn.com. So you can get all of the information on things to do and fun things to see and things to discover here in Cleveland, Tennessee. So come see us, y'all.
Talk about Southern hospitality. I guarantee I'll be going back to Cleveland, that's for sure. A big thanks to Mark Copley, who, by the way, recently enrolled in a refresher netting course. Also, I want to shout out to our buddy Carter's Lake guide Louis Bartonfield for his assistance in this week's production. On our next episode, we head back north for big fall smallies. Captain Ben Wolf joins us once again as we sport fish Michigan. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week on
Hook and Look.
Hook and Look is a Kim Stricker production.